Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I've been looking forward to this day for a very, very long time, because in this episode, the VR6 goes in the Beetle. But before I start, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who has liked and subscribed to the channel. And for those who haven't, please press that bell button and the thumbs up, because it really helps get this channel off the ground. All right, enough talky talk, more worky work. The windage tray has finally arrived from the States. On the left is the replacement, on the right is the old one. There's really no difference between the two other than this hole here on the replacement, which isn't present on the old one. Here's the flywheel. It's off a 2.8 VR6, 228 millimeters, thereabouts. And this is the clutch pack and pressure plate. I'm not affiliated with these guys, but I've heard good things. And also the specifications meet the torque specifications of the VR6 engine. So this has apparently got slightly more clamping force than what the engine can put out when it was new. So that should be fine. This is stage one. Again, this car's not going to be raced. Maybe the odd spirited driving, but that'll be about it. There we go. Okay. So very well packed. Give them that. All right. All right. Pressure plate. Fits. It's always a good sign. And the clutch. And nicely, a insertion tool, which is good. I have an insertion tool, but this is the exact one. Look at that. Nice. So I'm just about to put the flywheel on. The bolts I'll be using are actually genuine Volkswagen. There's 10 of them. Usually when you get stuff genuine, they come in this weird ribbon thing. Anyway, they weren't cheap, unfortunately, but they're the ones that are suited to this flywheel. So there's no indexing to this flywheel, so I'll just put it any old wherever it fits. So I don't know if you can see, I just put this any old where, but there is a sort of indexing. You see this hole? It's a bit hard to see on camera, but it doesn't quite line up. That guy there especially. All right, let's rotate this and just see if I can get this to actually fit where it should. It's a bit of a guess and check, I'm thinking. There. All right. So, you can actually see it. It's really hard to see, but where these washer marks are, there is one of these holes that's slightly more towards the center, and that's the index. So, all right, that's happy now. Let's just put these bolts in. Now I realized when I was doing the timing chain that I didn't show this on the channel. So this is the tool that you use to turn the crankshaft. It's also a camshaft turning tool. This isn't a genuine one, but it does carry, it's a replica of a genuine one. So it comes with these little attachments, which then go into the balancer, I guess you call it. Okay, so according to the book of Volkswagen, even though this is showing the VR6 engine and the dual mass clutch, it's the same size bolt, so the same torque applies and it's the same application. So it's a bolt for 60 Newton meters and then a quarter of a turn, which is going to be fun. So I'm going to pre-torque them to around 40 Newton meters, just for the sake of it. And now 60. So a quarter turn is 90 degrees, which is not always easy. Let's go. Okay. So my thing just let go. Alright, now, so I'm not a moron twice, mark the one that I've done in case the same problem happens. And we're done. So again, as I mentioned the other week, I won't be using the pilot bearing. I'll just leave the pilot bearing that goes inside the crankshaft as it is. And this is the insertion tool, which basically mimics the input shaft of the gearbox. So as you can see here, like I did a couple of weeks ago when I was doing my test fit, the actual input shaft will come like this. So not actually touching, but just slightly away and not inserting into the pilot bearing. So I'll leave the pilot bearing as it is. Hopefully they won't fly out, but again, this the input shaft is really quite close, so even if the bearings were to come loose, I don't think it'd be an issue. I don't think they would fly out. Off camera, I greased the pivot point and the guide tube and then fitted the clutch lever and clutch thrust bearing. Okay, I'm going to mount up the engine to the gearbox, hopefully for the last time. Got some new bolts here. So let's go. These are the new mounts. They're supposed to be 60% stiffer than the originals. So that'll help with the extra torque that this motor has over the original. Looks like the engine's ready to go in. Looks like my bonnet holder's in the way. VW part BROOM. So after a lot of mucking about, the engine's finally in. I'm super excited. It's only 4 bolts, but it's a tight fit, but it's in. Doesn't look like much, of course, because all the front's ripped off, but it's good news, it fits. Air conditioning looks like, with a little bit of bending and persuasion, that's going to fit. So wiring is down the track. It's not a huge job apparently, but nevertheless, happy. I haven't got the bottom dog bone in because I didn't realise that it doesn't mount where the original one was, so I'm going to have to make a bracket, but I don't have time today. But super stoked. Engine's in, clutch is on, happy days. The engine's in. I'm very pleased. It was a little bit of fiddling about, but it's in there and the bonnet can close, which is brilliant. A lot more work to go, but that'll be in the next coming few weeks. All right, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.